What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, some of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully you guys are doing awesome and taking care of yourselves. So today we've got an awesome one. It's about a bear-human hybrid that was seen outside of Waxahachie, Texas in 2010 by multiple witnesses. So let's get into it. All killer, no filler, all meat, no potatoes in this podcast. Boy, we don't fill it up with a bunch of pudding. We give you the real deal, Holyfield Big Mac Whopper style, baby. So what are we talking about? We're talking about a human bear hybrid that was seen by multiple people, and not just at one time, but on multiple different instances. So this writer wrote into PNM and stated that they saw a being in 2010 when he was mending a fence one evening with his associate near Waxahachie, Texas. The associate got called away, so he decided to stay and finish up. As he worked, he noticed a large black creature running on all fours across the pasture about 150 yards away. He got on his ATV and he headed to where he had seen it. Upon arriving at the spot, he went to look at it through binoculars. He noted that it looked like a bear, but with notably elongated arms and limbs. And he stared at it, and the creature stood on its hind legs and swayed side to side. What was he doing? The Axl Rose dance up on 1986, right? No. As it did, it looked directly at the witness. It looked directly at me. And I became spooked. The beast was man-like and also bear-like. It strangely resembled a werewolf. Now, this is really interesting because we're going to talk about this. This actually lends itself to skinwalkers and bearwalkers who are known to be shamanistic type entities, shamans that can shapeshift. So we'll get into that in just a second. So it swayed back and forth, and he said the beast was resembled a werewolf as well. He said, "I'm telling you, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen." Eventually, the creature began running on two legs directly at him, and he left the area. The witness discovered that the son of the man who owned the farm for which he was employed to had a run-in with this strange creature as well on the property, and it frightened him so badly that he would not venture out into the pasture anymore. There had been a spate of cattle deaths as well. You wonder if those cattle deaths were related to this man-human bear-pig thing. Not bear-pig, sorry. I'm getting into South Park now. Bear-human hybrid. Another woman who lived on the property had also been riding out one evening when her horse became spooked and bucked her off. She looked to find what frightened the animal and observed two creatures on the other side of the fence. They stood about 6.5 feet tall. The shoulders and arms and legs were man-like, yet the head was bear-like with a rounded snout. She described it as a man mixed with a black bear. As she lay there, the two creatures continued to stare at her. Eventually, a truck driven by a ranch hand drove up, and the creatures dropped to all fours and ran off. Now, to me, I got to rule out all possibilities of potential fraud here, right? Or pretenders out there. So could it have been just a dude in masks, or a couple dudes in masks trying to freak somebody out? Because their arms look like human arms, right? I'm assuming they look like flesh-like arms. Now, that being said, could these dudes be just, wearing some masks, wearing like a black vest, having their arms hang out, trying to freak somebody out, maybe trying to capture this woman, who knows? But for the fact that they got on all fours and ran off when a truck came to get them, you're not going to, if you're a human, you're not going to get on all fours and run. You're going to be on 2 feet and run because you're feared for your life, right? This dude pulling up in a ranch truck could have a shotgun, could have grenades, you could have anything, could have a dart gun for all you know, could have anything, and a harpoon gun. You don't know. Maybe this ranch hand's got all kinds of stuff. So they're resourceful. They got all kinds of things. An air gun, like the one they use in No Country for Old Men, right? They use on cows to put them down. Could have anything. So these guys are not fake. These guys are going to be a real entity, whether it's a shaman that has chosen to shapeshift into this bear-like entity or not. Now that's something we're gonna observe and take a look at. So one of the witnesses stated that when she was 11 years old, she had been driving in the car with her father, In Comanche, Texas, when they ran into a strange creature, they exited the vehicle to look at it. It was injured but still alive. She noted that a man mixed with a bear had human-like eyes. They retreated back to the car and left. Now, this is going to lend itself to the BearWalker stories of yore, and stories of Michigan actually has stories of a human bear hybrid. So let's get into that as well. So you might be saying, lockdown, I've never heard of a BearWalker before. Well, neither had I until today. So a BearWalker are humans who can transform themselves into the form of a bear. They are related to the Navajo Skinwalker, which you may very well know of from the Skinwalker Ranch television shows. Now, the BearWalker is typically known to be located in northern Michigan. The Chippewa Native American peoples have accounts of creatures called BearWalkers. They are usually a shaman of some kind who would gain the power of shape-shifting, almost always in the form of a bear. The BearWalker visits 4 times, and this is some lore, it visits 4 times, 4 days apart around the victim's house. Family members will see a light moving in the trees. After the 4th visit, the victim dies. 4 days after the victim is buried, the BearWalker must visit the grave and recover part of the body, usually one finger and the tip of the tongue, or they too will die after 4 months have passed. Again, this is a lot of lore, right? So we don't, this is stories passed down. BearWalkers can be spotted when they're on their way to work their power. They can breathe spectral fire. Anyone who gets too close to a BearWalker will be paralyzed and fall to the ground, unless they have the magic to counter it. If a person does manage to recover, they can get their hands around the BearWalker and it will revert back to human form. So what powers do these BearWalkers have? Well, they clearly have superhuman strength. They have super speed. They can drag things up to 2 tons behind them. They have super senses like real bears. They're extremely sensitive to high-pitched sounds. Their sense of smell is 2,100 times better than that of a human. They have shape-shifting capabilities between human and bear form. Pyrokinesis, when they're using their power to transform, they will start to breathe spectral fire. This is brand new info for me, maybe not for you. Biokinesis as well. Any person who gets too close to the BearWalker will also become paralyzed. Now, is there any way to take these types of beings down if needed? Yes, they do have mortality. Despite all of their supernatural abilities, BearWalkers are still mortal, and they can be killed like any other human. Wrapping their arms around. If a person managed to wrap their arms around a BearWalker, it will revert back to human form. So, it just needs a hug. Isn't that special? Now, this is related to the Skinwalker. Okay, so the Skinwalker, as a lot of you guys may know, is an entity that can take the form typically of a wolf, but of many other types of beings as well. And these are very well known at the Skinwalker Ranch or on the television show. There's lots of ways in which you can kill them as well. But Skinwalker legend and lore has been around in Native American circles for centuries. The Skinwalker has supernatural capabilities as well. What capabilities does it have? Super strength, super speed, super senses, minimal invulnerability. They can only be killed through decapitation or being mortally wounded in their neck region. They also have regenerative capabilities that they're able to heal injuries faster than regular humans. What weaknesses do they have? They're a little bit different than BearWalkers. Decapitation. Cutting off a Skinwalker's head will kill it. Ash-covered bullets. Shooting a Skinwalker with the bullets dipped in white ash will kill them. However, the shot must hit their neck or their hand. Silver also causes harm to Skinwalkers as well. Now, Skinwalkers are typically known in the Navajo region, which is in the southwestern United States. So, one would have to ask, do these stories come from the southwestern United States? And then were there peoples from the Navajo tribe that traveled all the way up to the Chippewa tribe in northern Michigan? Seems not super likely, but again, it's not impossible for humans to travel from the southwest up to the northwest or northeast, but it doesn't seem as likely because, let's face it, the weather down in the southwest is much warmer and much more, amenable to living, year round than it is up in northern Michigan. So, does that mean that these stories are real? That these people lived separately and they had their own stories, and those separate stories came up through the centuries on their own independently? Meaning that there are real bear walkers and there are real skinwalkers. It may be true. Apparently, there's been many stories in which people have seen these things. They seem to appear to have, when they're in human form, if it's a shaman, they would have eyes that appear like bears or animal-like when they're in human form. But when they're in animal form, they seem to appear to have human eyes. Now, eyes in general are fairly distinguishable, but sometimes they look similar. But what would definitely distinguish the two would be the intention behind them, the soul behind them that has them. People know that eyes are the window to the soul. And if that's true, then you would be able to tell. You'd be able to look into the eyes of one of these creatures and tell something's not right, something's different. And we, as a human species, have the capability to be able to tell whether or not an entity has a human component to it, has a different component than what is animalistic. Sometimes I'll even look at my female dog. I have many dogs. I have a female dog, a Bernedoodle, that I look into her eyes, and she has more capability to communicate telepathically or through her eyes than any of the other animals. It's almost like she's more of an evolved spiritual soul within this dog body. She just has the capability. She has something in her eyes that she's definitely able to communicate. Whereas some of the other male dogs or other female dogs, they just don't have the capability to communicate or the desire to communicate. But she does. I'm not saying my dog talks to me necessarily, but what I'm saying is that you can look in her eyes and you can almost sense what she needs, whether she's trying to communicate, hey, I want to go for a walk, or I'm trying to communicate, hey, I'm hungry. There's no difference in behavior. It's all with intention behind the eyes. And so the eyes are truly the window to the soul, and you can really kind of tell what's going on behind people's eyes. So, with that, what do you think about this story? It is very interesting. It's fascinating that it's still happening today, and that it's not just lore that's been lost through the centuries with a people that have been torn apart, but that they continue to have these stories today, and they continue both in the Native American world and in the current world of that are off the reservation, in Texas, in Waxahachie, and in northern Michigan. So these entities still exist today. And if we can tap into some of the Native American tribes, maybe we can find out more information about what's been passed down there. And whether it's written or verbal communication, we need to gather up more intel on this information and find out what's really going on. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you had a great weekend, took care of yourself physically, spiritually, emotionally, followed through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams, and continue to question the universe around you. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, and I love you guys. Take care. Lockdown Universe out. Peace.